Hi there. In this video, we're going to talk about how to read guitar tablature. So, guitar tablature is a very, very common way of writing out music for the guitar. Not to be confused with standard musical notation, which is the one that has the dots with the stems and everything like that. Guitar tablature is specifically for guitar. It's got some advantages and disadvantages, but it is very, very common. And the nice thing about it is that just about anyone can understand how guitar tablature works, and you don't need to know how to read music. Okay, so let's get started with how guitar tablature works. First of all, if we take a look at a piece of guitar tablature like we have here, you'll see that it's a series of lines with numbers on it. So these horizontal lines represent the strings, and then the numbers on the lines represent where you should play them. So, to explain that a little further, this picture here of the guitar strings running left to right. Okay, here. Now, if we want to figure out which string is which, we have to know which way this image is representing your guitar. And the way that it works is that your guitar headstock, if you like, is here. This is where your guitar headstock is. Okay? So this, the lowest line on the page, is the biggest string on the guitar. The lowest sounding string. Your E. This is your low E. So this is your sixth string. That's your fifth, fourth, third, 2, 0. Now in this tablature, they've been nice enough to put some letters here on the side. But if you're not 100% clear which string has which letter, this may not help you completely. Another way to orient which way to look at this tablature and envision your guitar is to basically, it sounds a bit silly, but is to basically put your guitar on and look down. This is basically what you see. So it's not as if you're standing away from yourself and looking at the guitar, on a chair or lean against a wall or something like that. This image works if you're wearing your guitar and you just look down. So that's really convenient because then if you're looking down at your guitar neck and you're playing in a certain fret and then you look at the tablature, well, it's going to be exactly what you've just been looking down at, just at a slight different orientation. So, and again, the headstock is off here to the left. Okay, so that takes care of which string is which. Now, these numbers, they represent which fret to play that string in. So, whichever string the number is sat upon, that's the one that you play, and the number tells you where to play it. So, for these first two here, we've got a couple of number 3s sat on the 5th string, or the second to lowest string. So then it tells you to play them. All right, that's the first two notes. Moving along, the second two, we've got 2 zeros here on the 3rd string. So what that means is that you play the 3rd string, but as you can probably guess, the 0 means no fret. So it just means you play it open. So, taken together, these first 4 notes sound like this. All right. And moving along, if we look at the next bit, we've got 2 notes here on the same string, on the 3rd string. Remember, 6, 5, 4, 3, or we could count the other way, 1, 2, 3, in the 2nd fret. We've got 2 of those, followed again by the same string played open. And then carrying along here, we've got 2 3s and 2 2s, all happening on the same string. So this is the 4th string. All right. And then in this last little bit here, we've got 0 0 on the same string. And then finally a 3 on the 5th string. So that is basically it. That is how you read tablature. Now, one thing tablature does not tell you, at least when it looks like this, is it doesn't tell you how long to play each note for. So if you're going to look at tablature and try and learn a song from tablature, it's really important that you either know the melody or the song already, so you know how it ought to sound, or you have a recording. You're working from a recording of some form so that you know you have that to reference. Because if we had never heard of the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, this tablature here doesn't tell us how long to play any of these notes for, how long they ought to last. So it could be something like that. I was exaggerating that on purpose, but because we know how Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star is supposed to sound, this works just fine. And then 3, 3, 2, 2, 0, 0, 3. Okay, so if you want to know how to read chords using tablature, it's just the exact same system, except instead of the notes happening one after another as you read from left to right, like in this image, they are stacked on top of each other like this. So when you see notes like that, you know that that means it's a chord because they're all happening at once. Okay, so what this tab is telling us to do, and you wouldn't know necessarily that this was a chord that you should voice or grip on the guitar until you get to here. Okay, and then obviously it is a chord that you have to grip, but you wouldn't know this necessarily leading up to it. But what they've got written is the 5th string and the 3rd fret, the 4th string and the 2nd fret, 3rd string open, 2nd string, 1st fret, and top string open. So what they've actually got written there for the first bit is this. But then we can see in the next bit here, we've got these same notes stacked on top of each other. So we know we have to play 3, 2, 0, 1, 0. And we're not playing the 6th string at all. And the tablature is saying make them all sound at once. Just like that. So that's how you read chords using tablature and how you read single notes using tablature. All right, in this video, we talked about how to read guitar tablature, both for single notes and melodies and for chords. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.